In this video, I'm taking a question that I got from one of the surveys posted down below the video in the details section. And I want to help you understand how you can handle friendships and relationships without emotional turmoil, anxiety, and self-sacrificing or repressing tendencies. What's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology, helping you find your true character and level it up so you can play life better. This is a difficult question because there are so many different components, but what I understand is you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to feel damaged by this relationship, by letting somebody in, by exposing yourself, by opening up your heart and that sore spot in there that people can just poke. When you share yourself, when you're open to the world, it can feel like anything that anybody says or does is just going to go right in there and just start like pulling and scratching at that open wound, at that vulnerable area. And it's hard. What I'm going to say here is not the definitive answer, perhaps. This is just based off my experience, and I appreciate you coming to me for advice on this. I do my best to pull in from my experiences and share those with people, and my mindset as well. So it can be hard, as maybe an INFP 9, as an INFP, as anybody, really. It doesn't really matter your personality type. It can be hard to allow that problem to come in by your own actions, right? You're putting yourself in this position intentionally out of, love. I mean, some people might say that falling in love and attraction is not a choice, but you're still continuing into that position where you might be vulnerable. And in any relationship, even within your intrapersonal selves, relating to yourself and all these different parts of you, you're going to get hurt. It's just part of life. Like, bad things happen. People say things, people do things that just, they hurt. And it doesn't mean that it's intentional. It doesn't mean that it's the truth or that it's something you need to hold on to forever. It's something that happened. And I've been in many relationships, and the thing that I try to do is to just know that whatever happens, happens, and it's up to me to make the best of that experience. So if my wife says something that I don't like, the reason why it hurts me, and this is the same for you, is because part of you is accepting that. If somebody says something like, you're stupid, and you get triggered by it, it's because part of you internally has this wounding around that and actually feels like maybe you are stupid. If it was completely not true, it wouldn't bother you, and you would just be like, what are you talking about? No. And then you would continue on. But because you have this, this soft spot, this wounding, you're allowing yourself to get hurt by that. And I know this is, as everything, easier said than done, but paying special attention to your boundaries, your self-efficacy, your ability to deal with the world, to be at effect, to take charge of your life, and to speak your truth, speak your emotions, speak about the things that are important to you. It's really important that you start to gain more skill and more experience in that. And the only way that you're going to do that really is through doing it, through taking the actions, through putting yourself out there, through letting yourself possibly get hurt. You are never going to get to a place in life that there are no problems. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be some sort of emotional issue, a relationship issue, a physical issue. Your health is going to be something, understanding and ideas and, putting those into real world mechanics. There's going to be something within all of that that's going to be a problem. And your life, if you switch to it like this, your life would be boring if you didn't have that. Your life would be uneventful if you didn't have any problems. And in my opinion, you wouldn't be living. Like, you need the good and the bad. And it sucks to have the bad sometimes, right? Like, it's painful. Appreciating that any amount of heartbreak, any amount of pain and struggle with relationship, your feelings are messengers for you to act in a different way. For you to take that and be like, well, I'm angry because, I don't feel loved. And if I don't feel loved, then what does that mean about me? That means that, I'm not important in this world. And if I'm not important, then what's my purpose? And if I don't know my purpose, then I'm not serving the world to a better level. You can listen to these emotions, whether they're positive or negative, and get some really good feedback from them that helps you calibrate your life so that you know which direction to face and which direction to go. So don't try to avoid emotional turmoil. This is something that I did, okay? I definitely tried to avoid it for many, many years. I went cold. I tried to turn myself into a robot and just didn't feel about things because I knew that if I did, I would get hurt, right? And going through all of that and then going to the other side where I've opened up and I've been more vulnerable and I've listened more to my emotions. Trying to avoid emotional turmoil, trying to avoid anxiety, I don't think is the right way to do it. Using them as signs, using them as messengers, as signposts that are saying, gotta look at this, might want to turn that way, right? Not to avoid it, but to better yourself, to grow into a better, more capable human being is the ultimate goal, in my opinion. And self-sacrificing, I think I need a little bit more clarity on that, right? It could be an honorable thing, unless you're self-sacrificing to be a martyr, or you're trying to show that I'm doing all this stuff for you and you're not appreciating me. Well, there's a lot that you got to deal with within there, but I don't have any more context on that. And repressing, as in INFP 9, and if you don't know what that means, that's okay, but it's a personality type that is very good at repressing emotions, very good at blending in, at diffusing and going asleep to your own emotions because they're scary. Anger can be a really scary thing because you don't know what's going to happen with it. Anger can also be a really powerful tool to get things done, to change the world. Depends on how you use it. And if you're afraid of it, if you're afraid of this emotion because you're not letting it run its course, you're not giving it the time to experience it and to emerge into something else or to diffuse after it's been heard, then that's when I think it causes a lot of problems. When you're not paying enough attention to yourself and to your emotions. So if you feel like you're repressing yourself, I think the best choice is to take right action, to think about it and be like, well, what is actually the thing that I can do that would make all versions of myself and everybody that I admire appreciate this action? Like, what is the action that is making me feel the most expanded and confident and like a good person? So those are some thoughts. I really appreciate the question, and I hope that it served you. If you have other questions, if you have anything you want to talk about, please comment down below, or you can go into that survey and fill out some questions. And this feeds into the comments, or I'm sorry, into the videos and the content that I produce. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.